The James Show Podcast.
My next story is based sort of out of Dallas. There's a Dallas company here, Dallas-based online dating giant. They own so many of the brands maybe you've used. The Match Group, of course, they got Match, Tinder, OkCupid, Plenty of Fish, Hinge. Which one's Hinge? Well, they have to pay a $14 million settlement, and they also have to change how they market and manage their subscriptions. Federal Trade Commission just slapped them down with a lawsuit. And the basis of this is that they tricked hundreds of thousands of people into paid subscriptions because you would set up a profile and you would supposedly go through and check the ones that you liked, and the people that liked you back, you would get a message saying, hey, would you like to find out who all likes you? Well, get a subscription. We'll let you know. Now, what's wrong with that? A lot of the matches were from bot accounts. Match knew that, and they didn't do anything to get rid of the bot accounts because they were tricking people into signing up for subscriptions. And then once they were in the system, Match made it kind of difficult to get out of the system. You ever tried to turn off your cable before, or your satellite? Remember, I unhooked one of the dish companies, and it took forever. I'm like, y'all are doing this on purpose, so I'll just hang up. Yeah, they kind of do make it difficult to unsubscribe. Well, Match made it a little too difficult to unsubscribe. But we also found out things that you probably suspected, and a lot of us kind of had confirmed by, remember the Ashley Madison scandal that happened like a decade ago, where they came out the database of users to Ashley Madison was the website where people used to hook up to have an affair, or think that they were hooking up to have an affair. And I used to joke that Ashley Madison is probably 20 million dudes and like 4 women. And that was my joke. My joke wasn't far off. It was like 2 million dudes and 4,000 women. It was bad. It was absolutely bad. But we also kind of had that confirmed with this story. These dating websites are just swamped with the guys, and there's not nearly enough women to go around. So what does that mean? What does that mean when you turn off this story and you look out your window? Because men and women are all using dating apps, and they all gripe about them, but men have a legitimate gripe. There's not enough women to go around. They just get turned down, and they're still having a hard time. Now, women, when you gripe, you are outnumbered like 20-1 by guys on some of these dating sites. And if you can't find a guy that's good enough for you, maybe you have an unreal expectation on where you fall in the dating hierarchy. Because I shudder when I hear about the studies that show the top 10% of men get 80% of the women. Like 80% of the women are only interested in the like top 10, 20% of men. And so what do the rest of the other 80% of men do? Well, they don't ever get swiped on. I don't know if it's right or left. I met Miss Parker before dating apps were really a thing. So I'm Miss Parker. Kind of too old to have made that trend. But that's the scary part. And then you have on the other side of the spectrum, men will date 80% of the women, but they don't really want to, marry them and have a relationship. They'll just, and I use date as doing that. Yes, a lot of heavy lifting there. So if you're a man, women are just shooting you down all over the place and they're not interested in you. If you are a woman and you're not in that top 10, 20%, then you're just being used. Well, I'm glad I missed that. 800-288-9227. If you have anything to add to that, I'm glad I found mine the old-fashioned way, manually, at a party. I went up and I talked to her. I gave her some funny lines. I made her laugh. I got her a drink. We chitty-chatted on the patio at a friend's birthday party. That's how I did it. Coming up next, we're going to play Dead or Alive. And I'm pretty excited about today's game because I made it themed to the show. This is going to be famous teachers, and it's all from TV shows and movies, so shut up. But we're also, I'm excited about the prize. We're playing for 4 tickets to see the Texas Rangers take on the Cleveland Indians. I'm still calling them Indians. Saturday, August 23rd. That's this weekend at Globe Life Field. It's a Saturday game, so you can go. And the first 20,000 fans in attendance get a miniature replica of the Adrian Beltre statue, the one that they just put outside the stadium. You can get tickets at TexasRangers.com, or if you want to try and win some from me next on Dead or Alive, call right now, 800-288-9227. It's the James Show, News Talk 820, 93.3 FM, WBAP. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Jovi. Welcome to Dead or Alive. Got a great prize in store today. It's Ranger tickets. Today, we're playing for 4 tickets to see the Texas Rangers take on the Cleveland Indians. Saturday, August 23rd at Globe Life Field. The first 20,000 fans in attendance will receive a miniature replica of the Adrian Beltre statue that they just unveiled outside of Globe Life, the stadium. For the rest of you, you're going to get tickets at TexasRangers.com. But I have a full boat of calls here that want to try and win a pair from old WBAP on Dead or Alive. You want to do ladies first? Bonnie and Richardson. You ready for Dead or Alive?
I am.
Okay, so today is the teacher edition. These are all TV and movie teachers. How confident you feel about that, Bonnie?
We'll see.
All right. I'll start off with an easy one then. Gabe Kaplan. He played Mr. Carter on Welcome Back, Kotter. Dead or alive?
Alive?
He is alive. 80 years old. Bryan Cranston, who played Walter White, the teacher Mr. White on Breaking Bad. Is he dead or alive?
Alive.
He is alive. Would you like to guess his name? I mean, his age.
60?
Come on now. It's 69. Just throwing it out there. Whenever I say that, y'all just say the word. Say the magic word that makes all immature people giggle. The next one, Tony Danza. He was in Taxi and Who's the Boss, but he was also in a short-lived TV show called Teach in 2010 where he was a teacher. But is he still alive, Tony Danza?
Alive.
74 years old. Well done. William Daniels. He played Mr. Feeney from Boy Meets World. Is he dead or alive?
Dead.
No, that's an understandable guess because he is 98 years old. He was old as heck during Boy Meets World. Thank you very much for kicking us off there. That's Bonnie and Richardson. Let's go to Jonathan and Aubrey. You ready for Dead or Alive?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We're going down. The next one is Howard Hessman. He was first in WKRP, and then he was the teacher from Head of the Class. Is he dead or alive?
He's dead.
He is dead. He died in 2022. Mark Curry from Hanging with Mr. Cooper, dead or alive?
Alive.
64 years old. Well done. Gene Hackman, who played kind of a teacher in Hoosiers, dead or alive?
He's dead.
Yep, just died a couple months ago. William Catt. He played Ralph Hinckley, who was a teacher. That was his day job in The Greatest American Hero. Is he dead or alive?
Dead.
No, sorry, sir. Great guess, though, Jonathan. I appreciate you playing Dead or Alive. We're going to Debbie in Mansfield. You're next up. There's only 2 left. How you feeling, Debbie?
Pretty good.
Are you a big Rangers fan?
Yes.
Oh, well, you're in a good spot here. Next one. The character is John Keating from the Dead Poets Society. He was played by Robin Williams. Is Robin Williams dead or alive?
He's dead.
He is dead. And finally, the actor's name is Edward James Olmos. He played Jaime Escalante in Stand and Deliver. Is he dead or alive?
What's the name again?
Edward James Olmos.
He is dead.
Excuse me, did you say dead?
Yes.
Hate doing that to people.
Oh, shoot.
Debbie. So I guess it goes to Cody. Cody, you want these tickets?
Yes, I do.
All right, well, you didn't do anything to earn them. But if Debbie would have known if Edward James Olmos is alive or dead, that would be hers.
He was at the Trump. He was with Trump last go around. He's still alive.
He was? Oh,
Yeah,
well.
he was one of them shameful actors who stood by his side.
All right. So, Cody, you going to the Rangers game? Do you need the tickets, or I give them someone else?
Oh, no, I'll use them up.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, then we have a successful game. Thank you very much for playing today, Cody. This has been Dead or Alive. If it sounds like I'm upset about this next story, I'm not. I think it's funny and I'm going to ridicule it. But make no mistake, I'm not losing any sleep over this, and this doesn't bother me or ruin my day in the least. It is a little absurd and eye-rolling. But under the Trump administration, executive orders have already come out that any entity that receives federal grant money, if they are using DEI, they will lose access to that grant money. And so that is a unit of control. You know, anytime you get the government, federal government, state government, local government to pay for something, what you're really saying is, in exchange for this money, I'm going to give you control over me. Because now whatever the grant was for, it's probably not even related to DEI. The grant could be for a new highway or a new park or, I don't know, some flood water mitigation system. They can withhold that and make you either have DEI or not have DEI. So that's the ugly part of it. We'll talk about that another day. We're already living in this world. And Dallas, the people in charge, not you and me, but the city leaders, haven't quite decided if they're going to comply with this. What's more important? Getting more money? Because you think the most important thing to all politicians is getting as much money from the taxpayers as they can. Whether it's through local property taxes, their benefactors in Austin, or their overlord puppet masters in D.C., they're always wanting to get money. They're not so sure about this one, though. They're like, I don't know if I can quit discriminating against white people and Christians and men and straight people in exchange for money. I think discriminating against people like James Parker is far more important than the millions and billions of dollars we get in taxpayer grants to help all the citizens of Dallas. It would be, we're thinking about continuing discrimination based on immutable characteristics, so we can, whether or not we get this money. It's like, damn, how much do you people hate me? Because look, is there any other explanation for a DEI program other than it's just anti-me? Is there any program that's DEI that's not anti-me? And so why are you people, number one, putting these programs in place in the first place? It's just legalized racism. And in fact, it's structural racism. You know, they talked about structural systemic racism. This really is systemic racism built within the system. You discriminate against people based on their immutable characteristics. It's just so happened that they happen to match mine, so no one cares. And now when they're going to take millions of dollars away from you, you're like, oh, I'm not sure if we should do this. I think it's more important that we can continue discriminating against James and his children and people who look like him and share his demographic profile. Thanks a lot. Thanks a whole lot. But instead of, just making the decision on their own, they have ordered an immediate halt to policies using demographic factors this summer. And now they're saying that they're going to have community forums. Oh, yes. This fall, they're going to gather public input on the compliance overhaul with 3 community forums. Oh, how nice. Guess who's doing this? The Office of Community Empowerment. God. Why do we even have something named the Office of Community Empowerment? Is there a more worthless job in anyone's city hall? What does that even mean? Community empowerment? Not my community, apparently. I hate it when y'all talk in code because we know exactly what this is for. Community empowerment. Hey, we're going to discriminate against James. Yes, we're going to empower the community with anti-white racism. Thanks. That's real empowering. Appreciate it. But check out this schedule here. This is great. The first meeting is going to take place Tuesday, August 26th. That's a week from tomorrow, 4 p.m. at the Latino Cultural Center. Oh, geez. I wonder how they feel about programs being taken away that give them a privileged position when it comes to getting opportunities and money and resources and grants and attention. Okay, so they're going to go to the Latinos first. Where are they going second? September 6th. This will be on a Saturday. This will be at the Martin Luther King Community Center on Martin Luther King Boulevard. So they're going to another demographic. that has been getting favorable privileged treatment under DEI programs that are going to lose that advantage. And then they're going to show up at these meetings and they're going to be like, they're victims. Why can't they take this away from us? You know, if you've been getting special treatment, equal treatment can feel like discrimination. It's not, though. The final session scheduled for Tuesday, September 9th, 6 p.m. at the West Dallas Multipurpose Center, 2828 Fish Trap Road. So, yeah, we're going to go to everyone but the people who are going to who are being discriminated against by DEI programs. You don't want to go to, I don't know, maybe a white community or maybe a male community or maybe a Christian community or maybe a straight community. Or no, you're just going to go to the people who are getting preferential treatment and ask them what they think about getting rid of DEI programs. I can tell you what they're going to think. They're going to think it's bad. They're going to think it's racist. They're going to act like they're victims. They're not. These people, it's like when they said in The Matrix, they're so used to the system. They're so brainwashed. They're so inured in the system that they will fight to maintain it. Even when we all know it's wrong. Even when we all know it's legalized racial discrimination. It's legalized gender discrimination. It's legalized orientation discrimination. It's just okay because the demographics that it hurts happen to be overwhelmingly your political opponents. Pretty ugly stuff, City of Dallas. I hope all these programs go away. Do better. Thank you very much for hanging out with me today. I appreciate the time you spend with The James Show. I'm James Parker. It's News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM WBAP.
The James Show Podcast.